there's always going to be someone that wants it more than you, and that's the hard fact, and that's why I feel like being consistent will help in that. It's like when you're consistently great at something, then you'll always think, man, I want this so bad. And actually kind of leads into my next thing is like, what drives consistency? Like, what drives consistency for you, and like what has worked for you?
That's good. What drives consistency for me? Well, I have my own ambitions and my own goals. You get what I'm saying? And I have my own vision for my own life. And I know that my grandmother taught me just at a young age. She told me you can do anything you put your mind to. So I knew growing up, that wasn't just something I'm discovering right now, like some people, have.
Yeah.
I had the blessing and the fortune to actually grow up with that mindset that within the context of my purpose, anything is possible with God.
Yes.
So I was thinking like the sky's the limit. You get what I'm saying?
For sure.
I would say for me, I would say that when it comes to that, I just have a personal passion to do my very best in anything that I'm doing, whatever it is. And I feel like what motivates me is not just myself, but my family and the family that I'm going to have in the future as well. I know that it's all going to work for them. It's not just you, it's generations from, in the future as well. You get what I'm saying? And as men, we're looked on to be those leaders and those protectors and those providers to really set up our entire families. So I just think of it like, let's get down to business. Like I'm ready to not only create something for myself, but something to be sustained for a period of time that's going to impact people for generations. People I might not even meet.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because with God, there is no limits.
No.
He is immeasurable.
Wow. When you said let's get down to business, like on a funny note, that reminded me of the Mulan.
Yeah.
Let's get down to business.
I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh, really?
No,
What?
I really haven't.
Like
no.
just the cartoon?
I haven't seen it from start to finish. No, I've always watched The Lion King, Aladdin, Jungle Book, and what else was it? Tarzan.
Oh, Tarzan.
Those are the
go
four I
hard,
grew up
though.
with.
Crazy thing is, Jungle Book used to be like my favorite thing.
Really?
I don't know why.
I don't know. I was a Lion King fan all the way.
Look for the bare necessities.
Exactly. There you
Right.
Yeah, it's low key got some cuts.
Oh,
in
yeah,
it.
you got some bangers,
Like in terms of the songs, like it's good.
Oh, yeah. It's probably one of the best Disney soundtracks out there.
Yeah.
But what about you, Derry? What drives consistency for you?
Kind of the same way Josiah was just implementing that family oriented piece, but also I don't know what it was, but God always gave me the mind frame also and the vision of what my life was going to look like. And what motivates me is to do what he has called me to do before I leave this earth.
That's good.
In there's not a day that goes by that I don't think, did I do what God called me to do today? Was I falling in his will? Because some people leave this earth at 20 years old. Some people leave this earth at 80. Whenever I'm supposed to leave, best believe he's going to say, good job, good and faithful servant. Because there's not going to be a time where I want to be outside of his will. Because I'm here on a mission. I'm here on a purpose. And what I want to do is make sure that I execute that purpose. And I do what he's called me to do so that I fall in line with what he's asked of me and what he's called of me. And so that's always something that's in the forefront of my mind every day.
That's good. Everybody in this generation needs that mindset.
Right.
100%.
Every day.
Yeah. And I feel like I can, based off of what you guys are saying, like I have a similar view on what drives consistency, but I also believe that obsession drives consistency. Like when you're obsessed about being great about something, like that's all you think about. That's all like you said, generational wealth is one thing that I know you love.
Oh yeah.
That you love to talk about, Josiah, and it's something that you think about all the time. And it's like you have to have an obsession to be great at something. You can't just say, okay, I'm gonna do it this day, but then tomorrow I'll take a break. Like, yeah, it's good to give yourself a mental break every now and then, but at the same time, you have to consistently be the very best that you can, and you're gonna fail. Trust me, you're gonna fail, and that's another that people have to be okay with. Failure comes with success, and I feel like this may not make sense right now, but success also drives consistency. And people might think, well, how can success drive consistency if you've never been successful? Well, that's where the passion comes in. The passion is going to, and the obsession is going to get you to success, because if you really care about something, you're not going to stop until you succeed. So once you succeed and you finally get that first taste of success, then you're going to be chasing after that every single time. So you have to just remind yourself, hey, like, I'm working for a better purpose. I'm working for something that's greater than me. So when you plug all those things together, the obsession comes, and then success comes, and the cycle then repeats itself.
Exactly. And you know what else feels consistency? I would also say faith as well.
Yes.
The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Because if we were to go off of what we see all the time, you know what I mean? Like, you would be so limited in what you're doing. I mean, like, if you go off of what you see or what you feel, you're not always going to feel or see success. You get what I mean? But it doesn't matter. You still got to go. You still got to grind, whether you feel it or not. And you constantly have to, like, especially as Christians, we constantly, no matter how we feel, we constantly have to pick up our own cross, crucify our own flesh, and get in alignment with God.
Yes.
You get what I mean?
Right.
That's what success is, being in alignment with Him.
Right. And I think, like, just to kind of touch on what Andrew was saying, like, I think you have to categorize your obsession, right? Because the obsession can be, okay, I'm going to be so obsessed with God that I'm going to chase whatever He's put in my way. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because the obsession shouldn't be the money, the cars, the clothes, right? Ooh, yeah. But it should be, okay, what is God calling me to do, so that I execute that, and then I work and I continue to do what He's calling me to do within the consistency. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, touch on that too.
Yeah, and I feel
that's so good.
Yeah, no, that I feel like that's a great way to kind of sum it, because, like, yes, there are things that you will find within success that could distract you from what God has for you, because we see it all the time where people become successful, then they change, and a great mentor of mine told me that money only amplifies who you really are, or whatever it is that you're chasing after only amplifies who you really are, because if you're a jerk when you're, on the come up, but then, you get money and you don't really care because you have everything that you have wanted and needed, then you're just going to continue to be who you are. So it's always great to be mindful of how you are affecting people and how that could affect the lives of others, because when you have that platform, you're going to be reaching out to way more people than you could ever think of.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I think that a lot of people in our generation really define success by materialistic things. Yeah. But we have to understand that it was here before you, and it's going to be here after you as well. Right. And one of the things I spoke about at my grandmother's service is the very fact that even though she was such a giving and loving person, and she spoiled us, man. Like, especially me. Not afraid to say it. Yeah. Took me to Disneyland, all that stuff. But the greatest gifts she gave were not the tangible ones. They were the intangible things. Wow. Like her love, her gems of wisdom, her presence alone. So we have to understand that the greatest things are immeasurable, are intangible, that we cling to. That is what makes you a success. That is greatness. Kobe said that he wanted to be the greatest basketball player ever. But then he said that he wanted to impact other people so that their greatness, like his greatness, inspired them to be great. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's immeasurable. That's an intangible thing, but that's still greatness. That is success. Yeah. So that's what it's about.
Man. Wow. Yeah. Wow. I would just say let's end right there.
Well, I had one more question, if that's okay with everybody. Yes. But what do you think it takes to maintain that level of consistency, like a level of consistency that is just showing your greatness? But obviously it's through God. But what do you think it takes to maintain that level of consistency?
Well, what's coming to me right now is writing out your vision and making it plain, like the word says. Yeah. I think it's, like I said before in the beginning, I think it's so, so very important to be around people that hold you accountable, like mentors. Amen. Or, teammates, whoever it is, like have people around you hold you accountable for whatever it is that you're investing your time in. And as well, you need to decide in your own right that you need to go after something. Yeah. What was your question a little bit more again? What was it again?
Like, what do you think it takes to maintain a high level of consistency?
Another thing I think it that you need in order to maintain that is what you're intaking.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of people who are very successful in their craft. I see that whatever it is that they're intaking, even if they're not out in the field directly, they're still consuming content that has to do with their obsession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when Kobe wasn't on the basketball court, he was reading about basketball. He was watching basketball. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be so obsessed and committed that even if I can't make it out there, I'm still going to invest in whatever it is that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not acting, I'm watching a movie. I'm obsessing over how certain scenes are cut or how a character is being portrayed, wherever that is. You get what I'm saying? Because the work doesn't just stop wherever you're at. You know what I mean? It can continue on wherever you go.
Right. Wow. Wow. To answer that question, I was so just intrigued by what Josiah was saying. It totally slipped my mind. But for me, I will have to say that motivation aspect. And I'm sorry, Andrew, repeat the question one more time.
So what do you think it takes to maintain a high level of consistency?
Maintain it. Yeah, you have to know what you're motivating. You know what I'm saying? You have to know what you're doing it for. And you have
like your why.
Yeah, you have to know your why, because
That's
it's like,
point.
I write down my goals and my visions for each month. Each month and each week, I write down what I'm going to be doing for that week and for that month. And sometimes we're so caught up in life that we can forget why we are doing something. I'm going to this job that is empowering youth so that those youth don't fall into the same trap that I fell into when I was their age. I'm going to continue to do our podcast because I want to have a platform where I can express myself. Like, there's going to be days where I don't want to podcast. There's going to be days where I don't want to go to work. But what am I doing it for? We're here to do something for something. We're not just doing it, just be doing it. So you have to motivate yourself and know and understand your why on why you're doing it.
A target to hit every day.
Exactly. Every day.
And it's people got to realize it's not about you. It's really about what your goal is. You know, what is the goal that you're trying to get to, and what is that going to do for others, you know? But people can be self-centered. People can just think, you know, in the moment. And for me, it's just like, you got to be out your feelings. You know, you can't just allow your feelings to dictate what your purpose is meant to be, because there, like Derry said, there's going to be days where you don't want to do it. But when you take that extra step and when you take your feelings out of it for just a moment, because it's okay to feel things, but you shouldn't allow that to dictate where you're going, you know? And another thing is you got to be able to understand, like I was saying earlier, failure is okay. You know, like not every day is going to be as good as when you first started, because people got to remind themselves. So when you have a great idea, right, and you want to take that idea further, like say you want to start a business, and because to run a business, you got to be consistently great. You know, you got to be consistently at it. So, you know, they have like a roller coaster of feelings going, right? Because one day it's like, man, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna be doing this and that, and then, you know, one day they just have like no sales, or they have nobody, you know, coming in their shop, or whatever it is, right? And it's like, man, they start getting thoughts like, is this even worth it? Like, is this even purposeful?
Right.
But no, it's like you got to continue to go, because you could have one bad day and you could count it as failure, but you can also take it as a learning moment. Like, okay, why did this happen? Why did this not feel as great as it did yesterday? And once you figure out that it's not always going to be about your feelings, then that's where you can take it to the next level. Okay, how can I navigate it to where my feelings aren't going to dictate why I'm being consistent?
Yeah, because it's not always going to make sense. But when the success comes and when you reach your mark, it's going to make sense then.
Yes. And you're going to look back at it and be like, man, I'm glad I didn't skip those extra workout days. I'm glad I didn't skip out and just close up shop. I'm glad I didn't just give up on myself, you know, and it has to deal with faith, you know, like how Josiah was saying. It has to deal with all the mental aspects that we've, you know, all encountered before in life. It's like things are going to come at you, but you got to stay strong and keep going forward. And you never know. It could be something great. And once you get to that point, that's when you're going to look back and be like, man, I'm glad I went through all those hard times.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like even in relationships, even though this episode is not on relationships, you guys, we are talking about consistency.
She had to point that out because we've been talking about relationship stuff for the past.
Yeah, we always do.
No, I like that. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You guys got any relationship questions or anything?
No, not this week.
Yeah,
not this week.
It's all about consistency this week, you guys.
We are going to be consistent with our topic today.
Right. We are going to stay in our lane.
But anyways, I think we got everything that we needed today.
Yes. This was such an amazing conversation. Josiah, thank you for coming and just inviting, your presence and being yourself. Yeah. Being yourself it's just amazing to have you. Thank you.
Yes.
Man, I'm so honored and so grateful to have you guys invite me here. I really appreciate it so much. Yeah. And just remember to never give up, because that's what my mission is. It's to impact people so that they understand that they're great in their own right. You know what I mean? Like to be a declarer of truth, to be to impact my generation and many to come with radical love, compassion, unity, so they can strive to be their best and never give up.
Man.
That's what I'm here for. So it doesn't matter if you mess up. Sometimes when I speak, I mess up, but that's okay. You got to keep going.
Keep going.
Because there's a message in you, because you wouldn't be alive if there wasn't.
Man.
You wouldn't exist if there wasn't.
Preach
so
it,
just keep going, man.
Yeah. And we knew we had to have you on the show because we knew you weren't going to hold back.
So. Yeah, no.
Oh, no.
Yes.
No, that's not in my DNA.
Yeah. We'll get a lot of responses and comments back just saying how fire this episode was. And
yes.
We
couldn't have done it without you, man.
Man, I couldn't have done this without you two either, man. Thank you guys so much. God bless you two.
For sure.
Thank you.
Shout out to them.
And that was another episode of Set Apart Podcast. Thank you guys for listening in. Thank you to all of our listeners and supporters. We truly thank you guys, and we wouldn't be here without you. I'm going to let Andrew go ahead and shout out his socials.
Yeah, so my socials are Drew Martin 51 on Instagram, and on Snapchat is Andrew Martin 380. And don't forget to follow our Set Apart Podcast Instagram, Set Apart Podcast, all lowercase with the underscore at the end of it. And we're going to have Josiah actually say his socials too.
Hey everyone, so my socials for my Facebook, it's Josiah Townsend. That's Josiah, and Townsend, TOWNSEND. I am a realtor, and I'm super passionate about helping anybody understanding the benefits of generational wealth and home ownership. So please feel free to reach out, shoot me a message, give me a call with anything that you can. I would love to work with you. And my Instagram is Josiah Townsend, Josiah_Townsend 98.
There we go. And Derry, if you're ready.
Yes, my Instagram is going to be Derry_Productions, and my Snapchat is going to be little_Derry27.
There we go. We got it all
out. Derry, yeah.
Yes, sir. All right. But anyways, guys, we appreciate you for listening in, tuning in, if you made it this far. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be having our podcast on all platforms pretty soon, so just stay tuned for that. And Derry?
Thank you, guys. Also, one other announcement is I am going to be in a play, a production play called Pipeline. It's going to be produced by Acts on Stage. So you guys can go to my Instagram, go follow them, get your tickets. The link is in the bio. Acts on Stage at Instagram, all lowercase. Thank you, guys.
All right. And that's why we set apart.
That's right.
Peace.
Peace.
I like that.